Welcome again to the big match. Today we look at three teams who were at the top of their divisions at the start of the weekend. And for our main match we go to the third division leaders, Crystal Palace, and their match yesterday against Grimsby Town. And our studio guest is Ian Evans, the captain of Crystal Palace. In the second division we have the leaders there, Sunderland, and their home game yesterday against Orient. And finally the big one of the day, Manchester United, beginning the day at the top of Division 1 and their visit to Leeds United at Elland Road. Of course, we shall also be looking at your letters and answering the question that we set last week, well, how many goalkeepers have played for England since the war? But first the action. We make a start at Selhurst Park in South London, home of Crystal Palace, now enjoying life so much more, a side that's now settled down well under manager Malcolm Allison, its eyes firmly fixed on promotion, beaten only once at home in the last 12 months, and that was against Brighton late last month. Today, then, Palace come face-to-face with Grimsby Town, a team with a poor away record, but still lying 8th in the table, and these are the teams. Palace have made a change in defence. Jim Cannon injured, Stuart Jump comes in at 3. David Swindlehurst returns to the attack at 10. As for Grimsby, a slight shuffling of their side with the dropping of Frank Barton from the defence. Excellent conditions, the hope of a few goals today, and perhaps they'll come from the likes of Peter Taylor, an exciting attacker and an England under-23 international. Or for Grimsby Town, from their top scorer of last season, Jack Lewis, who's already got 5 this season. The referee is Bert Newsom from Shropshire, and the loyal Palace crowd is 15,000 strong.
So it's Grimsby then who set the game in motion, attacking the goal to our left in those black and white striped shirts, black shorts and red stockings. Palace, of course, in their familiar red and blue stripes, blue shorts. Palace lying top. Grimsby not at all a bad start to the season. They're lying 8th, although in 4 away games they've lost 3 of them. And they can expect quite a task here against the league leaders today. Malcolm Allison there, having a conversation with his chairman, Mr. Raymond Bloy. And also in the director's box this afternoon, a lady in the second row in a check coat. You can probably see there smiling. This is Beth Allison. Here's Holder now with a throw for Palace. Taylor. Jeffries. Well, he didn't hit that as he wanted to, but it very nearly came off for him, and he might get a second go. Holder now, hitting it first time, and what a good one too. Headed away again by Grimsby, but Jeffries once more. Johnson, now for Kemp. Across the goal, and a goal kick. Well, a couple of occasions there where Palace didn't quite connect properly, and as it came through to Kemp, it looked as though he might have a chance, and he didn't connect properly either. Now Mike Zusman. Evans, Jump. Swindlehurst, Holder hit first time. The throw given to Crystal Palace. Johnson with it. Jeffries again coming up quickly. Wall laid back for Evans. Everybody bar their goalkeeper now. Palace have in the Grimsby half of the field as Peter Wall now gets another cross in. But that wasn't a good one. Jeffries is there again. Johnson losing it. And a little bit of an up and a downer there between Partridge and Johnson. And being called by the referee. Bert Newsom from Shropshire. Handling this game well, though. Always up with the play, looking very active and very sympathetic to free kicks, for example, that want to be taken quickly. Stewart jump at the free kick for Palace. Ian Evans right in there. Now Peter Wall in there, and it's Wall's shot that goes over the crossbar for a goal kick. Peter Wall, the former Liverpool player. Jump, back to Paul Hammond. Now Jeffries can take it up for Crystal Palace. Holder, that fell nicely for him. Flicked on again for Peter Taylor. There's the little cross coming in. Swindlehurst is right up there and it's just over. That's the best Palace move of the match. With a good move down the right touchline. And Taylor's cross. Swindlehurst getting up well, but a fraction too high. Tommy Casey, the Grimsby manager, in the sheepskin coat there, up and down, very animated indeed. Former Northern Ireland international, played with Everton and Coventry during his playing days. Well, he needed the advantage there, and the referee in fact calling Mike Zussman back. Is he going to book him? There's the book. So with something like 23 minutes gone, and what looked to be a fairly innocuous foul from this distance, Mike Zussman's name goes in the book. And Crystal Palace get another free kick. Stewart jump with it. Evans barged off that ball as he went in. Well, blow me, that was a funny decision because Evans was quite cruelly barged off that ball. A free kick given presumably because Evans is accused of barging somebody off the ball. Terry Venner was on the left. Coach, as I say, in the centre, Paul Hinshelwood, brother of Martin Hinshelwood, playing in the number 4 shirt for Palace. Coming, jumping all over Taylor, another free kick. Game of stops and starts at the moment. I don't know whether that was Boylan. Yes, the book is out again. That time Boylan for kicking that ball away. And that's the third name to go into the book. Boylan kicked it away. Boylan. Spelling it out. So referee Newsom puts the third name in the book. And Palace get a free kick. Holder again. Taylor, in fact. Fooled them all, and Evans is right in there! Yes! Ian Evans! Well, that free kick was punished as it came floating in. First one looked to be going to take it, and then Taylor it was who floated it in. Ian Evans, up so often for those set pieces, nodding it down, past Wainman, into the goal. Crystal Palace 1, Grimsby 0. Scorer Ian Evans, goal number 6 of the season for him. Well, Evans, who's missed absolutely nothing in the air in defence, was up there to show that he misses very little when he comes forward as well. Really has had a remarkable goal-scoring record, including a hat-trick this season, that big number 6. And that might be just the motivation that Crystal Palace need. But at the moment it's Booth for Grimsby to Lewis. Flicked in again. And here's Evans, playing for Wall. And Gray, the number 6 for Grimsby, is injured. So he took a knock in the face. Pat Malloy, the trainer there. I'm sure all Watford fans will remember him as well. It's all right again. Well, Malcolm Allison, just a fleeting smile there, but I think he probably is aware that his side really haven't played as well as he would have hoped in the first 35 minutes or so, but they're a goal up. Pushing and shoving going on there, but I think it was 6 to 1 and half a dozen the other. That's why the referee allowed it to go on. Jeff Johnson, David Booth, Johnson again, planting it forward. Kemp is right in there. It might come for Peter Taylor to hit one. Oh, and what a great save! Well, Taylor caught that beautifully. What a volley! It must have been thigh-high, left-footed, hit with tremendous power, and a good save indeed by Harry Wayne. Wigg, Evans, Jeffries played back for Jump, now for Wall, and now for Martin Hinshelwood. Kemp. Boylan, really a busy little player. And finally it's Gray back to his goalkeeper Wayman. As the whistle goes for half-time, a half that warmed up as we came towards the interval, and it was 8 minutes before that interval when Ian Evans scored the only goal of the game with that header from a free kick. Although Palace have looked anything but impressive for most of the first half, it's a valuable lead, and that might motivate them to better things in the second half. A lot to come on the big match this afternoon. We shall be back with the second half of this game between Crystal Palace and Grimsby in just a couple of minutes, leaving you with a half-time score at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 1, Grimsby 0. Welcome back to Selhurst Park, and it's Crystal Palace then who get us underway. Now attacking the goal to our left. 1-0 ahead, the goal by Ian Evans. Boylan for Grimsby. Booth. Oh, that looked to be a harsh decision, but it gives a free kick to Crystal Palace. Hinshelwood to Evans. Now Wall. Jeffries. Played forward to Holder. Evans again. Gone up and stayed up, but didn't seem to have the pace there to go past Cummings. But it's a throw nonetheless to Crystal Palace. The man whose goal separates these two sides. And here's Taylor. Wall. Evans. Well, that came off Marley, and it might come for Kemp. What a very good save by Wayman. Terrible mistake there by Marley. Gave the ball away. Kemp really seized on it, hit it well, and Wayman saved superbly. So another corner. What a Holder and Taylor coming up with this time. In fact, it's Phil Holder who hits it in, and Peter Wall who came in first. Wigg got it away. Johnson trying to play it wide again towards Taylor. Now it comes to Taylor. Curled in again towards Kemp. Oh me, that wasn't far off. And there's a much more business-like approach to the afternoon in the second half from Crystal Palace. As that one came in, Kemp hurled himself at it, but couldn't quite get a strong enough touch. Peter Taylor on to Johnson. And now Kemp, he's onside. Oh, and Wayman judged that beautifully. That was a good break, though, by Kemp in an onside position, and a good piece of anticipation again by Harry Wayman. Kemp again. Oh, a nice little back heeler, and this time Taylor's on the move, and Cumming had gone back with him, and still Taylor. And no! And yes, by Kemp! Goal given. Well, Kemp says it was easy. And it was made easy for him by a great run by Peter Taylor. Great determination, and then it cannoned off Hinchelwood and finally came through. A sitter really for David Kemp. And he whacked it in. 2-0, Crystal Palace 2, Grimsby 0. David Kemp, the former amateur from Slough, the scorer, and that's number 9 for him. And there was more than an assist from Peter Taylor. Now Wall. Well, perhaps that'll give Palace the taste for it. Evans again getting up well. There really does seem to be no way past him. Here's Taylor. Offside. Tommy Casey goes talking on in the hope of talking Grimsby into a point. Johnson, Zusman, jump. Flicked on nicely there by Martin Hinchelwood. What a nice touch there. Also as it comes now for Swindlehurst, but straight at Wayman. Neat build up there by Palace. Here's Wall. Taylor. Lewis. Palace again in possession. Really dominated this second half. Johnson on for jump. Another go. Jeffries. Holder making the break. And it's a throw. Taylor. That's his cross. It's a good long one. Just a little too long for Swindlehurst, but here's Hinchelwood. Swindlehurst played there nicely for Hinchelwood. He tried so hard to get it in, but Cummings was there to turn it away for a corner. Holder with the corner, and a poor one. And still the Palace substitute, Paul Hinchelwood, warming up in the tunnel there. And I fancy it might be Dave Swindlehurst who comes off. The fact that they've got the number 10 ready in the box to suggest that it will be. Evans. There is Swindlehurst going for that one. And here's Swindlehurst now, but what if he should score? And he has! Well, David Swindlehurst gets number 3 for Palace. And Paul Hinchelwood must wonder whether he's coming on now. A good break from just inside the area. Taylor was in an offside position alongside Swindlehurst, but in no way influencing the play. Swindlehurst went on as Wayneman came out and slipped it very comfortably indeed past the goalkeeper to make it Crystal Palace 3, Grimsby 0, which in fact was the identical score for this match here last season. The scorer of the third goal, Dave Swindlehurst, his third of the season. And Paul Hinchelwood has gone back onto the substitutes bench. Maybe he'll have to wait a little longer now. Played well there. Swindlehurst bundled off the ball though by Booth, and here's Boylan. Swindlehurst is injured, and a free kick to Grimsby. So I think it might well mean that the man who scored the third goal does go off now. Well, we're going through the old routine again of Hinchelwood warming up, and Malcolm Allison, I would have thought, a little more satisfied with the Palace showing in this second half. Evans. And Hinchelwood, or rather Swindlehurst now, coming off. A couple of minutes after scoring that third goal. And Paul Hinchelwood will come on. Had a very good game last week at Port Vale. Really challenging for a regular place here now. Shin guards, you'll notice. Jump can turn that back to Hammond. Still a quarter of an hour to go. Palace comfortably leading now by 3-0. Gray's header. Booth. And away goes Ron Wigg. Kemp letting that go for Taylor. Nice turn. Good control there by Peter Taylor. And Paul Hinchelwood on the far side. And he's got a corner. Up comes Evans again. Hinchelwood did it there. Ian Evans right up. And the chant of Eagles goes up again. Eagles being the Crystal Palace, the eagle being the Crystal Palace symbol, of course. Hit lower this time. And they've probably got another corner. That one could well slice off, yes, for another corner. Goalkeeper Harry Wainman wanting a bit of protection. And Taylor hit lower this time. Stewart jumpers right in there. What a good variation on the corner kick that was by Peter Taylor. And Jump obviously was aware that that was what was going to happen. Hit low and firmly. And Jump was in there but couldn't quite get the right header in. Boylan. Nicely played there for Cummings. And Partridge on the far side. Got his header in well, and as well for Crystal Palace that Ian Evans was there to nod it away. Now Paul Hinchelwood. A nice flick inside for Peter Taylor. Oh, what a good ball there for Kemp. A lovely move this by Crystal Palace. Still with Kemp. Back for Holder. Oh, a screaming shot. But hit straight at Wainman. Really caught that well, Holder. Here's Hinchelwood again with a whistle goal. Zusman. I make it that we're going into the last minute now. There should be a little time added on for injuries. It was a foul throw back there, so Palace get one now. Paul Hinchelwood. Phil Holder. There's Martin Young again. Holder. Boylan. Evans. And Taylor for Jump. We're now going into injury time. Evans' header. Here's Peter Taylor. Couldn't control it. Well, this might still come now for Kemp. The last seconds of the game. Will that be number 4? It won't. Bobbled fiercely, in fact. That was tough for Kemp, although Taylor was also beautifully placed inside him. But just as he was about to shoot there, a bit of a bobble, and it remains at 3-0. And in fact, there goes the final whistle. A comfortable win for Crystal Palace without being an impressive one. With David Kemp having scored in the second half, and David Swindlehurst as well, to add to the goal that was scored in the first half by Ian Evans that really set Palace on their way. So that means for sure that Crystal Palace stay at the top of the 3rd division, as we have a final scoreline here at Crystal Palace. Palace 3, Grimsby 0.
Yes, Crystal Palace 1 point clear at the top of Bury, who beat Southend with a goal in the very last minute yesterday. But now let's meet the Crystal Palace skipper, Ian Evans. I think one of the things that the newspapers have picked up this morning, Ian, is the fact that Grimsby tackling was a little ferocious yesterday. They had 4 players booked. Was it as ferocious to face on the field of play as it seemed?
Well, it's the thing that the Crystal Palace players and the club have come to expect from a game, especially in the 3rd division, and probably if we get promotion in the 2nd. All clubs that come to Selhurst Park are lifted by the atmosphere, plus the names of some of our players. You know, there's a good squad of players there.
And they'd made a good start. They obviously wanted to continue in that.
Certainly, sort of they're at the top of the league, or there and thereabouts. Every point's precious to them. So a physical game is a must, I think.
Yeah.
You can't shy away from that fact.
No, Malcolm Allison, your manager, was saying that he thought big match viewers would be in for a treat today. 3-0 against a hard side, you really can't ask a lot more than that. And yet, somehow I felt there was some indefinable thing missing. Were you entirely satisfied with your team's performance yesterday?
Sure, that was our best home performance. It's not our best performance of the season. We've played a lot better as a unit and as a team away from home. We've had great results, but that little something that you missed out on, I just can't put my finger on it myself. Not being out there taking part, it seemed to be going quite well for us out there, yeah.
Good. Well, you confused, I think, the spectators, the television commentator and the Grimsby defenders too, with a fair bit of jiggery-pokery that went on too, particularly, for example, that led to this first goal scored by you. What was going on now between Peter Taylor and Phil Holder here?
Well, the referee's given a free kick for something which I don't know what happened. Now, just the initial run over the ball from Peter Taylor then signifies to the other lads what is happening.
And the way the Grimsby players are pulled away.
All the defenders are thrown out of, you know, they're off the stride.
And there you are.
And I just come in there and, yes, I won't say it again, but get in, you do. Yeah.
Well, you've scored 6 goals this season.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate. Everything's been going right for me. I could have had a couple more, to tell you the truth, with a bit more luck.
Including a hat-trick. How many of that 6 with your head?
4 out of the 6 and 2 left feet.
We've looked at the jiggery-pokery there. We also had 1 or 2 examples of it. In fact, when corners were being taken, when 2 players go off the field and raise their arms. What does that mean?
There again, it's just a signal to the rest of the lads that something is on. They're out there on the corner. They've assessed the situation. They've seen how the Grimsby defence have lined up and how they've marked against us, and that's what they're out there for, is so they can read what's on, what's the best.
That's got the
thing.
mark of Malcolm Allison and Terry Venables on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, sure. It's Terry more than Malcolm, although Malcolm, as he's saying.
He comes up with a fair number of free kicks, Terry.
Terry, yeah, he's got one. Every other week he comes out with a new one. We're running out of arms and legs for the signals, you know. So we've got to think of more signals more than free kicks.
Yeah. The second goal was a good one, particularly in the way that Peter Taylor worked it, and I think the way that Martin Hinshelwood, the number 4, got into another good, strong attacking position. Let's look at that one now.
Yes, David attempts his flick on, which he's always doing, and they usually come off like this one.
And there's the number 4, Martin Hinshelwood.
Martin, yes. The
referee did well to let that go, because that was a good challenge by Taylor.
It was a great tackle. He wouldn't let the defender win it. He never does. Martin screws it there, a shade. And David comes in and finishes off great, which is what he gets paid for, and he's doing great. You know, that's his what, 8th or 9th goal now. And all the lads are well pleased with him as long as he can keep knocking them in for us.
Yes, indeed. But Martin Hinshelwood is, as I say, you're pushing a lot of people forward from the middle of the field. Yes,
Terry likes us to, especially at home when they won't come at us.
Yeah.
So we go at them. Yeah. And Martin, he's entitled to get two or three goals. That's 2 or 3 times that he's screwed the ball wide.
Right, let's look at this third goal, though, where I think there's an element of offside, and I think Palace, in all honesty, were a little bit lucky here. As you look to the left of the screen, Peter Taylor, you would have thought, must be at least level with the last line of Grimsby defenders. And he must surely be influencing the goalkeeper. As the goalkeeper comes out, he must be aware of Peter Taylor on his right. Having said that, Dave Swindlehurst tucking that in very well indeed. I think you're a bit fortunate there, but overall, obviously, it was a win that Palace thoroughly deserved. I just want to talk lastly and briefly, Ian, about you personally. I'm sure Mike Smith, the Welsh team manager, is aware that your form is good. You've played for the Welsh under-23 side. What are you hoping for now? Well, I'm hoping for to be called up into the big squad for the Austria game, which is coming up, I believe, this month or next month. I know he's been to 1 or 2 of our games, and every time he's turned up, we've done well, which has been good for me. We've always won or drawn away from home. So I'm hoping that, well, I've got my fingers crossed that everything will go right. Well, that and Palace for promotion wouldn't be a bad double. Ian Evans, thanks very much for coming in today. Thank you. Well, for our second match today, we pick up the Sunderland surge, if you like to call it, at the top of the second division. So close to promotion last season, again strongly in the running now. And yesterday they were at home to Orient, who still had to register their first away win of the season. The match was covered by Tyne Tees Television. The commentators Kenneth Wolstenholme. Sunderland here are in the stripes.
Kerr with the corner for Sunderland. Handball, that surely was a penalty. It is a penalty, it's been given. Oh, there's no use Hoadley trying to say that was his chest. Certainly beat the ball down with his hand, so with 20 minutes to go before half-time, a clear penalty. Robson has the ball in his hand. Tony Towers is tying his shoelace, and Towers, I think, is the man going to take it. Yes. An unfortunate blow for Orient, but no doubt about it, had to be a penalty. So, Tony Towers of Sunderland in head-to-head combat against John Jackson of Orient. And Towers wins. No doubt about that penalty, beautifully taken by Towers. He hit it low. They're the difficult ones for goalkeepers to get, but Jackson wasn't far away from it. Owen Hughes beating Grealish for speed. For Porterfield. Oh, that was deflected. Good run. Great run by Porterfield, but what superb goalkeeping. The shot was deflected, but still Jackson managed to stretch himself and get there. Bellum forward to Cunningham. What a great tackle by Clark. Oh, look at that for fighting spirit by Cunningham. Full marks to any player who will do that. Holden shouldering his way through. Robson, and what a save by Jackson. No wonder Bobby Robson looks absolutely dumbfounded how Jackson got to it. A great save, but full marks to Mel Holden, the man who made all that possible. Used to Malone. Holden looking at the referee then, but I think he ran into Wally. Roeder to Cunningham. Forward to Roeder. Oh, what a beautiful ball to Queen. And a lovely goal scored by Queen. But Cunningham and Roeder, the two youngsters who made it. Roeder starting the move, giving it to Cunningham, and Cunningham the lovely reverse pass, and then the through ball from Roeder, who's one of the youngsters, played his first game this year for Orient, through ball to Jerry Queen, and it's 1 goal each after 17 minutes of the second half. Setter again for Queen. Oh, what a great header by Heppelet. Tremendous header. And an equally great save by Montgomery. Kerr with the throw for Sunderland, back to Clark. Just about 20 minutes left for play. 1 goal each. Kerr, Hughes is there. And Kerr, the man who sent across that beautiful centre, I could see no way that Billy Hughes could get to it. The defender was between him and the ball, but somehow Hughes got up, got his head to it, and surprised Jackson and the entire Orient defence, and it's 2 goals to 1 with about 80 minutes left for play. Hughes. Hughes to Kerr. Towers. No offside. Porterfield. And it's there. Robson. The first mistake made by Jackson. Jackson looking a wee bit disconsolate as the ball was pushed out to Ian Porterfield. Jackson momentarily appealed for offside. Rightly, the referee didn't give it, and it was a very weak centre from Porterfield. Jackson losing the ball, and Robson putting it into the back of the net.
Our third match today, and it's that outstanding First Division clash between Leeds United and Manchester United. The team that began the day at the top, and a thrilling game it was too, covered by Yorkshire Television, the commentator Keith Macklin, Manchester United in the dark strip.
That was Daly, attempted return ball picked out by Gray. Pearson and Daly looking dangerous there. Good running by Daly, but away come Leeds with Orient. Bremner. It's the Manchester attack which has looked the more impressive so far. Leeds obviously missing Lorimer. That bounced off Bremner, fortunately for him, to Frank Gray. Eddie Gray. Leeds, of course, also missing all this season so far the height of Joe Jordan. There's Hunter, there's Madeley. Madeley clipped out for Clark. The quick first time, and Mackenzie just over. The best move of the match from Leeds so far. A very good ball from Clark, curling in onto Mackenzie's head, and Mackenzie's header just over the top. Pearson, Hunter. Eddie Gray. Nicol. This is coming through to Pearson, and there's Bob English sitting there watching that intently. Brian Doyle. McElroy. Campbell, oh, he's round his man. Good low ball, yes! It wasn't cleared. Campbell, the man who got round the back. That is Sammy McIlroy's 6th goal of the season, and it gives Manchester United a 1-0 lead in this vital match. So the Manchester United fans behind the goal buzzing now, and certainly that goal has been on the card since the start of the game. Daly, Coppell, Daly, Coppell coming for the shot. Madeley into his stride. Clark, Greeny's going up on the overlap. Yonath. Mackenzie. Bremner. Wide. That hovered in the air for it seemed an eternity. Bremner didn't hit it right. I think he meant it to crack it. And for the first time, the Leeds attack is really putting pressure on the Manchester goal. As Clark goes for that. The back header for Bremner, trying to turn on it. That looked like arm ball. Clark's through. What a miss! What a miss! He normally gobbles those up. He did all the hard work, made the chance for himself from Bremner's pass, but then blasted it over from the 6-yard line. Turns, accelerates, Mackenzie now. Bremner and Clark moving up into the penalty area. Mackenzie trying to get round the back. Clark didn't get hold of it. He was well policed by Greenhoff. Macari, good smooth break by Manchester United with Macari taking that return ball from Coppell. Here's Pearson trying to get inside Frank Gray. Just didn't control it, but that was a good move by Manchester United. They were moving well. Macari. What a tremendous goal! He's done it again, this man McIlroy. Stewart got his hands to it, but couldn't keep it out. That's 2 for McIlroy and 2 for Manchester United. A tremendous shot from 35 yards, and it looked as if David Stewart had pulled it down onto the crossbar, but he relinquished his grip on it, and that's 2. Bremner going for a longer one, into the box for Clark's head. Jackson, corner. Bremner taking it, wanting to take it quickly. Eddie Gray. Reedy! Paul Reedy with a heaven-sent chance of scoring only the 6th goal of his whole career. Manchester United defence caught trying the offside trap, and Paul Reedy hit it against Stepney. There's the corner. Madeley. Madeley. Up towards Clark. Good header. Yonath! Over the top. There, Leeds are missing the chances. Twice within a minute, the chances have been there. First Reedy, then Yonath. Clark made that beautifully. That was a more difficult chance for Terry Yonath. An awkwardly bouncing ball, but it still ranks as a chance. 10 minutes remaining. Eddie Gray to take this corner kick. Cherry is up there. Madeley. Yes! Clark, it's 2-1. Madeley across the face of the goal. Clark the touch, and Leeds United back semi-contention. They still trail by 1 goal, but that goal by Alan Clark, his 5th of the season, will give us a most hectic and exciting last 9 minutes.
So an excellent victory for Manchester United at Leeds, but not good enough to keep them on top of the First Division. Queen's Park Rangers, with that brilliant 5-0 demolition of Everton, they've gone to the top, of course. Well, that's it. Hope you've enjoyed the show today. See you next weekend with On the Ball in World of Sport next Saturday lunchtime. The big match again, of course, next Sunday afternoon at 2. Our thanks to Ian Evans, our guest in the studio today of Crystal Palace, now signing our big match autograph book. And we leave you today with a taste of the action from 3 of those high-flying sides we've seen today. Manchester United, Sunderland and, of course, Crystal Palace.
What a tremendous goal!
Hughes is there.
Taylor, in fact. Pulled them all, and Evans is right in there.